Hi friends, today we're going to talk about multiplying binomials. Now first, it would be helpful to know what a binomial is. That prefix bi tends to mean two. So when we talk about multiplying binomials, it might be something like x plus 2 times, we'll make it 3x minus 4. So we have two things in parentheses multiplied together, and each one has two unlike terms that we cannot combine. So there are two methods that I want to show you to attack a problem like this. And the first one is FOIL. Now, I'm going to be honest, FOIL is how I learned to do this. It's how I'm most comfortable. But the important thing is for you to choose the method that works every time for you. They're both equally correct, and they both work in all situations. So just look at what works best for you. So FOIL is actually an acronym, and let's write out what it means. It gives us a way to multiply these, and the F stands for first terms. The O stands for outside terms. The I for inside terms. And the L for last terms. Okay, so what does that mean? Now, I want to tell you, I draw these little arrows every time I FOIL. Every time. And I have a master's degree in math, so it's okay to draw the arrows every time. So this means, the F means we're going to multiply the first terms together. So that would be this x times the 3x. And that would give us 3x squared. Next, we're going to multiply the outside terms. So that would be the x and the negative 4. And don't forget that the negative goes with that 4. So negative 4x. I for inside terms, 2 times 3x is 6x. And then L for last terms, positive 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Okay, so we've done the FOIL part. Now we just need to collect like terms. Well, our only like terms in this expression are the negative 4x and the positive 6x. So we're going to combine those. I'll have a 3x squared plus 2x minus 8. That one's complete. There's no like terms to combine, and so that would be our final answer. All right, so with FOIL, this just gives us an organized way to approach that multiplication. The first terms, outside terms, inside terms, and last terms. Let's look at one more, just to get some practice here. So let's say I had x squared minus 4 times 2x minus 3. All right, so let's do our FOIL. So first terms, x squared times 2x gives me 2x to the third power. Remember that x here has a sneaky 1 as its power. All right, outside terms, the x and the x squared and the negative 3 gives me minus 3x squared. The inside terms, minus 4 and 2x gives me minus 8x. And then the last terms, minus 4 times minus 3 gives me positive 12. All right, so when I check that one, I have 2x cubed minus 3x squared minus 8x plus 12. I don't have any like terms here, so there's nothing I can combine. So this would be my final answer. Now in both of these examples, I had x's. There's two other ways that you might see this method used. One is if I had a square root. So let's say I had 2 plus 3 square root of 5 in parentheses multiplied by 1 minus the square root of 2. So we could use FOIL on this as well. These are binomials in that they have two terms that cannot be combined. So let's multiply this out using FOIL. So first terms, 2 times 1 gives me 2. Outside, 2 times negative square root of 2 is minus 2 square root of 2. Inside, positive 3 square root of 5 times 1 is just 3 square root of 5. And then last terms, 3 square root of 5 times negative square root of 2 is minus 3 square root of 10. Again, I would want to check and make sure I didn't have any like terms that could be combined in my answer. So 2 minus 2 square root of 2 plus 3 square root of 5 minus 3 square root of 10. Notice that none of the square roots are identical, so we cannot combine those. So my final answer will stay just like that. The other place that you might see this method is when you have an I. Now, if you're not to the point where you have seen square roots or i's, that's okay. I want to make this video so that it can be used for all the ways that we use FOIL. So it's okay to skip that part if you haven't gotten there yet. You can always come back later. So if I were to multiply two complex numbers, I'm going to multiply 3 minus 4i times 1 plus 2i. Notice that I do have two binomials. Each one, in parentheses, has two terms that cannot be combined. So again, it's time to FOIL. First terms together, 3 times 1 is 3. Outside terms together, 3 times positive 2i is 6i. Inside, negative 4i times 1 is minus 4i. And then last terms, 3 times positive 2i is 6i. And let's see. I made a mistake there. Let's fix it. I did outside terms a second time. So let's fix that real quick. All right. So let's see. What I really meant to do was instead of this 6i here, I meant to multiply minus 4i and 2i. That's what I wanted to do. So I would have a minus 8i squared. So I would have 3 plus 6i minus 4i minus 8i squared. Now we're back on track. All right, a couple of things I can do. The first one is I have like terms here. 6i minus 4i, that would just be 2i. So 3 plus 2i. Second thing I can do is in place of I squared, I can put in a negative 1. So instead of minus 8i squared, I'm going to have a positive 8. So I have 3 plus 2i plus 8. We're almost done. I'm going to combine that 3 and the 8 to have 11 plus 2i. And that would be my final answer. All right, so here you have using FOIL to multiply binomials. I'm going to create another video where we use the box method to do the same thing. And remember, you get to choose the method that works best for you.